Hello, everyone. It's Yogi here, and happy Monday. Yes, the first day of the week. I hope you're doing well. And yes, it's about 8:30 in the UK time, and I hope you're ready for a spot of stitching with me, And this is the choice of my whip today. And this is one of my 14 count cross stitching kits that I got, throughout the years within kind of slightly before and during COVID as well. And I absolutely adore these pieces, and they're really fun to stitch, and also they're 14 counts, meaning that it's nice and easy, and the all the 14 all the four 14 count kits that I've got, they've got back stitching as well, so there's an added element of fun for me. So with one of the pieces, the Granny's craft room, I started the process of back stitching. So I'm not one of those people that is going to finish the piece and do a nice, epic back stitching session. I back stitch as I go. So this piece is no exception. And this piece is called the Maison Romantique, and used to be known to me as the wedding store. Yes, I think was the wedding shop or wedding dress store. And later on, I found out this is a piece from an artist called John O'Brien, and it turned out 3 out of my 14 counts, they're all from the same artist. So you can tell that I'm drawn to the style without even knowing who the artist was. And so all of them, let me show you the markup here. Okay, this is absolutely gorgeous. I think John O'Brien is known for his romantic style, but also European street views. So a lot of his sort of his signature pieces, they are illustrations around back streets in Europe. And I think quite a lot of them are from France, and this is definitely Paris. So there's a beautiful wedding shop, it's a wedding dress shop with 2 mannequins, and yes, absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of air stitching involved with the dresses, but if you look at the background along this beautiful back street, overlooking what looks like Eiffel Tower in the background. Can you see that? And I think this is definitely Paris, and high up on a hill somewhere overlooking the beautiful city, or used to be even more beautiful. It's a big subject. No, Paris is beautiful. Okay, go visit Paris. And yes, so let me show you my progress here. All right, so this piece, I'm trying to recall when I started it. This is actually the second start. Okay, so during my whip parade, the part 2 whip parade that I did couple weeks ago. Actually, part 1 that I mentioned this, how I came about stitching it once and then had to restart. Okay, so go watch the whip parade. And so this is a second attempt, restart, and I think it's going really well so far. I cannot foresee any issue at this point. Who knows? And so let me show you the numbers, okay? And just let me zoom out a little bit so you can tell. You can kind of gauge how much I have completed. So this is not a massive piece comparing to Heaven and Earth design, but this is a 14 count project. So physical size is much larger. Okay, let me show you the numbers. So currently, if you look at upper left in terms of progress, I'm just over 10%. Very pleased, very pleased. It means, just repeat 10 times. It's going to be completed. So I just need to keep going. And if you look down to the left panel at the bottom there, it's got 55 solid colors, meaning single color. So I'm stitching with 2 strands. So both strands are the same color. There are 55 of them. And 2 of them, 2 additional ones, are blends. So 2 different colors blended together for the 2-strand stitching. So overall, 57 colors, quite modest, you know, if you're used to the heaven and earth terms, sort of projects. Let me start a sprint right in front of you, so you know I'm starting from 0. No cheating when it comes to stitch counts, okay? And so it's quite a, you know, nice balanced project here, because it's got fair amount of color changes, but not too overwhelming. So it's not as I don't want to use the word simple. It's not as sort of straightforward as Dimensions Kit, for instance. It does have some, you know, confetti looking combination, but not as bad as a majority of Heaven and Earth. So this is where I am. So this is what I'm working on today, and I'll give you more, you know, talk about how I'm going to be working on this piece in a little bit. But of course, I want to say hello to you. Hello, welcome, and let's have a look at the chat and see who is going to keep me company today. We have Clara first to report to the chat, says hello. Hello, Clara, well done. The first on the chat here, and also Lona as well. Lona says hello to Clara, and wonderful. I just love the fact that everybody is getting to know everybody else, and we'll get along so well. No drama, no drama. Drama free and calamari free, okay, for this group. And Simply Stitcher as well. Hello, welcome back. And who else have we got here? We also have, a lot of chat going on before the stream even started. I love it. And we also have Ligda as well. And SolarWind is also here as well. And Sarah, of course. And Sarah, did I miss something from Sarah? Hang on a second. Sarah, did you give us a quote? Have I missed it? If I hope not. If that's the case, I'm so sorry. My chat doesn't seem to catch up that much. Oh, let's have a look. My chat is playing up a little bit. So let me come down. Amira is also here. Hello, hello. Good to see you. And Sarah VM as well, and Cassie. I can see Cassie here, and Lynn Rose as well. Lynn Rose, great to have you. And who else have we got? Mandy Moran. Yes, good to see you, Mandy. And who else have I got in the chat? And Lizzie as well, and Lynn as well. Lynn Kershaw, and Michelle Fuller. Lovely Michelle is here also, and Mary Solas as well, and Love Drunk is joining us. And who else have we got? Guy Lane as well, and Mean Fusioner. hello, welcome back. And let's have a look, keep going. And if I missed anybody, forgive me, just give me another wave, I'll see you. And Chelsea is here as well, and good to have you back. And Rachel Morton, yes, Rachel Morton, and Marilyn. Hello. And yes, let me know what you're working on today. And, you know, day to day, majority of the days, I'm kind of doing, you know, 25 counts or 28 counts and, you know, small stitches. But it's so relaxing to do a 14 count as well. And by all means, they're not less beautiful at all. I find them really attractive. I think the sizes of the stitches really have different expression. You know, 14 count feels very different from 28, for instance, but, you know, absolutely beautiful as well. So the plan today for me, let me zoom in a little bit. So if I show you my app view again, okay, so it's easier to show you what I'm going to do today. So if you look, let me zoom out. So this project, I kind of started somewhere in the center, so toward, you know, upper end of the center, and from the mannequin there, and slowly page by page I'm working toward the right side, and you can see I've completed the Eiffel Tower at the background there, and so I'm on the 3rd page over here, okay, working on this beautiful shop front and with blue doors. And my plan is today I am going to focus on finalizing, or somewhere near finalizing the third page, and let me highlight the area I'm focusing on here. Okay, and I'm going to use minimum to max. I think that's what I did with the last sessions as well. So I'm gonna follow that convention and aim to finish the third page here. Can you see that? And once I'm done, I would like to do a back stitching party, okay? And after that, I'll pick a direction, because with this way of working, once these 3 pages are done, I can literally start to branch out using whatever stitching method. I can flow upwards, I can flow downwards or sideways, and I'll just pick the juicy bits, the part that I'm interested in, and to go forward. So I'm no longer restricted with page by page, because up to this point, I was working with scanned paper patterns. So these are a stitching kits, so they came with paper patterns. So I had to work with some restrictions up to this point. And now I managed to get a digital version of the chart. So I'm free to go, to do it however I want. Okay, so this is the plan today for me. I'm going to bring up the highlight, and I'll explain to you what I mean about minimum to max. I think the regulars will know by now, but we have a lot of newcomers, joining us, and there's things that terms that we throw around willy-nilly. It probably means nothing, very little to everyone else. So welcome to the group if you're new, and we'll definitely explain everything along the way here. All right then, let me bring on my work view here. So this is the area I'm focusing on. I think I'm doing really well. So minimum to max, basically, I'm just picking the colors from the number, based on the number of stitches for each color. So the color that's got minimum number of stitches, I pick those first and then go up in number. So the final color, in theory, basically I'll just come in and start filling whatever's remain within this area. So it's really good fun, and quite I wouldn't say fast, not necessarily for me, but I say it's efficient, very efficient way of working, because very often with cross-country, at the end you have to go around and start hunting those loose stitches that you have not done, right? If you're not following minimum to max, at the end, very often you have probably, colors that's got 3 stitches or scatter everywhere, and so on and so forth. So if you go up in number, essentially at the end, you just fill in whatever's, remain in this area. So it's one of my, a favorite method to stitch, and it is slightly restricted with the app. You do need an app like Saga. Okay, so that's the app I'm using. Good. So let me just check my thread list here and see where my starting point is. Have a look at this. So the first number I'm going to go for is A44, and already I've got 32 stitches. So it's not bad at all as a starting point. A44, okay? And let me know, guys, what you're working on. And first of all, let me take a sip of my coffee here. Yes, the voice has been exercised today, so I need to take care of it. All right. Beautiful. And let me know what you're drinking as well. Power drinks for power stitching session. And let me get it all set up here. And let me just catch up with the chat here. And we have... So Michelle Fuller says, I'm working on Blue Coat Santa on linen and drinking hot water. Is that the new project, the birthday start? Yes, linen. Oh, when I hear linen, I'm excited but scared at the same time. It's the kind of area within stitching that I'm, yet to explore. I like the idea of linen, but, it sounds daunting. So let me switch. Let me change the highlight color. I prefer blue, actually. I think last time I changed it to red for some reason. Here we go. So A44, and as I said, this is a stitching kit. So it came with the floss, and I believe this is Egyptian cotton. So, and I like the way it stitches. It's very, very robust. It's great for two-strand stitching, and the threads, they kind of line up, you know, quite nicely. I find DMC sometimes I can literally see two threads kind of twisting over each other when I do two-strand stitching. But with Egyptian cotton, with this floss, seems to be quite nice. So let me zoom way in so you can see what I'm doing here. And Marilyn says, off today too, ready to stitch. Isn't that wonderful? When you have a day off, you can just snuggle up and just join in with all the stitches and stitch together with Yogi. That's lovely, lovely. And Min's Fusioner says, and by the way, how do you stop your threads from slipping in even weave? Okay, so that's a slightly different question there. Oh, A44 already. We have, I haven't even started. And we have a spooky bingo, guys. Yes, Chelsea is having a spooky bingo already. Here we go. It's a great start for spooky bingo. So first spooky bingo goes to Chelsea. Well done. And yes, Chelsea is one of our new members, and already she's flashing her emoji like a pro. Amazing. So here we go. And because sometimes I can stitch and stitch with all the color changes. No one is having spooky bingo with me. And that makes me a little bit, you know, a little bit sad. But today, great start, great start. So well done, Chelsea. So it's a nice grassy green, this one. A44. So I'm going to start here. 32 stitches. Very nice. Let me just start this one here. Rachel Morton says, I'm mopping the floor right now. Oh dear. Yes, a little bit of a, you know, cleaning session going on there. We'll keep you company. We'll keep you company, Rachel. And let's just get the little hands warmed up a little bit. Sarah VM is making lunch. I love the fact that, you know, when we're streaming, the stitchers, of course, you know, you're stitching with Yogi, most of you, but some of you just getting on with lives, you know, do things they have to do, but listening to us or watching us at the same time. I love it. It's part of everybody's life. It's wonderful. And let me mark as I go so I don't get lost. And I think cleaning, chores will be so much more pleasurable when you're listening to something that you're interested, right? Cassie says, currently stitching the castle turrets on Once Upon Fairy Tale while sipping coffee. Cold and windy this afternoon. Yes, there's some extreme weather is happening where the stitches are. London has been very mild, which is slightly scary. It feels like something's coming at some point because it was quite cold for about 2 or 3 weeks. It felt very, very icy. And, you know, and I believe we snowed about 5 flakes, at least 5 flakes of snow we had. I saw it with my own eyes. And then I blinked. And the snow disappeared. the recent few days have been very mild. Sarah says back on black today. Yes, a lot of sweet hen. I think we're going to have spooky bingo with Sarah. Stitching sweet hen. If you're doing Blackwork today, you know, you're going to have spooky bingo with Sarah all day long. And talking about Blackwork, guys, I am so happy that you enjoy it, because I enjoy too. For me, it's a new adventure. And so we did a session with members, channel members, last Saturday, just a couple of days ago, right? And really, really enjoyed it. Time just flew. And later on our Facebook group, if you haven't joined our Facebook group already, you can see everybody's webs and all sorts of projects going on. And I'm learning so much every day. And you know what, guys? We're going to have another one this coming Saturday. Blackwork party. We're going to have another one because I love it. I did a little bit more secretly, you know, of sort of, I think it was yesterday, a little bit today as well. It's very, very relaxing to do. And I enjoy it so much. I think we're going to have another session this coming Saturday. And I'd like to catch up with you guys and share some new insight, having stitched Blackwork for, you know, a couple more days. And I think if we enjoy, we can have weekly sessions. We can use the Saturday earliest slot before our sale for members get together weekly. And, you know, we can, for the next few weeks, we can do Blackwork and we can keep going until we want to do something else more. And we can reserve that spot for the members. So if you like that, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't joined the channel membership, you're welcome to join us. You know, the next session is coming up on Saturday. So you have some time if you'd like to join us for the Blackwork stitching, amongst other things, then you're welcome to join us. You have plenty of time to get the pattern and get the project. You know, all you need is a piece of fabric and some 310 or whatever color of your choice, and you can join us for the Blackwork stitching. Okay, it's great fun. It's great fun. We learn together. The first session we watched some tutorial together, and then we had discussion, and we, you know, during the process we're able to real time ask questions and share information. So we're going to keep that going. And it's an interesting field, isn't it? Because from Blackwork, it can be extended to quite a few different style of stitching. That's kind of slight. There's some overlap. Like yesterday, there's some being suggested, mandala, for instance, and chatelaine, all sorts of patterns. There's some overlap in terms of techniques and style. So it's a very interesting area to explore, and that's slightly different from our day-to-day stitching. You know, day-to-day stitching, we're focusing on full coverage, and but there were things we like to explore as stitchers, right? And we can use the members get together, members party, to explore that together. So, and so if you like that, come join me. And there's some free patterns as well, because quite a lot of you suggested the companies, they do free sale and free patterns. So plenty of free patterns around. And so come join us. All right, so I've used up that thread. I've got 14 stitches to go. Yeah, thumbs up. Chelsea likes it. Yes, Chelsea's gone. Chelsea's piece is designs. She designed her own pattern, and Lona likes it, and Solar Win as well. Yes. I think this is what how we're going to move forward. And also on Saturday, maybe from time to time, there will be occasions that I might have extra classes I need to teach. Then I'll let you know if that's the case. Otherwise, I think the plan is to use that earlier slot before Sao, Amy Sao, that we can do some activities together. A44. A44. Let me take one more strand. So in terms of, evolution of the channel, I like to leave it as organic as possible. I don't want to kind of try to think up things to do. I like to allow things just happen. And, I think it's been working very well. Michelle Fuller loves it as well. And hi, Barbara. Barbara say, I learned how to frog Blackwork. Me too, Barbara. If you've seen my first session. And Marilyn as well. Yes, Marilyn says, wonderful, helping me work on my Blackwork piece since 2015. It's about time to pick it up. Yes. Here we go. So I've got 14 stitches to go. There's 2 more over here. I think. Let me just move up a little bit. Oh dear, already tangled. So little loop start. That's a great thing about 2-strand stitching. You've got that loop start waiting for you. Nice and easy. And with this area, I don't think there's any sort of super light colors, so no air stitching, which is always nice. Sometimes I don't mind. Sometimes I'm up for a challenge, and I would, kind of consciously pick areas, either the super confetti or, lighter in color scheme. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want to just go for strong colors. Let me have a look. So 12 more stitches. Where are they? Oh, okay, over here. Hey, Chloe, hello. Chloe says, hello, my daughter has been ill, so I've missed the last few days. I hope everyone is okay. Yes, Chloe, take it easy. If you need to look after other people, make sure you look after yourself as well. And don't put yourself last, okay? And we're here to keep you company, to lift your spirit. And I hope you get to do a little bit of stitching as well. Lynn says, Yogi, I was watching some more U-turners stitching. Oh, floss tubers. Do you mean YouTubers? Is that? I'm guessing. I'm very good at guessing what's written in the comment. Lynn says, I was watching some, I'm guessing it's YouTubers, right? Or floss tubers stitching. They don't talk. That's why you are special. You make it interesting. And drinking fresh orange juice right now. Excellent. Yes, I just enjoy, a nice chat with you guys. And I as an audience, I do watch channels that kind of just stitch and not talking, which is fine. I think every content creator, they have to do something that they feel comfortable and authentic as well. If you're not a talker, it's probably going to be very painful. Having to talk all the time. And for me, it's the opposite. I told this story before. When I first started the channel, starting sort of creating content for the channel, it was last year sometime, summertime. And I was experimenting. I wasn't streaming at that time. I was experimenting, in terms of how I was going to create my content, how to deliver it. And I remember recording couple of sessions that I was trying to do silent stitching. Those channels that I don't like music in the background, so I don't do music. And but I just did kind of real sound stitching, real time stitching, but recorded and without talking. And man, Lynn, I couldn't do it. I'm just not cut out for that. And I think I recorded for about a couple of hours. I did 2 sessions and I was in pain. I just wanted to talk, as I've got a habit of just talking through what I'm doing. And also if I think of anything sort of interesting, I want to talk about it. It's interesting. It's fun, isn't it? And so I decided silent stitching is just not my thing. So, and then I started to live stream as an experiment as well, and see how that flows, because I hadn't done it before. And gradually, I think I just kind of found a flow to it, and what feels natural to me, and hopefully, enjoyable to you as well. So it's a journey. It's a journey for sure. So, you just simply have to do what feels true to you. And I cannot find my spot. It's over here. All right, got it. I got it. Over here. Why doesn't it match? I wonder. It's over here. Let me just have a look. So this is black bits. Over here is this bit. Okay, it's all right. And I'm really happy you enjoyed it too. So, Alison Rennie, hello. Alison says, I'm working on dragonflies, drinking cherry Pepsi Max. Oh, what's the difference between Pepsi and Pepsi Max? Is Pepsi Max sugar-free? Is that the difference? Because I don't think there's a diet Pepsi, or is there? Is that how they call it? Oh, we're back on the Coke discussion again. I don't think this bit match. Hang on. Let me, okay. It's fine. I just totally missed the spot. Chelsea says it was like the snow in Morecambe. I think that's where Chelsea is, right? It rarely snows here. I'm so close to the coast, about 8 minutes walk from my house. Oh, so you're near the ocean? Is that what it is? Yeah, I'm such a city person. I cannot remember the last time I went near the ocean anywhere. And also when I travel, I tend to travel, holidays and stuff. I tend to go to other cities. Just, I rarely go to really sort of raw area or countryside. Occasionally. In the south of France, That's quite nice, you know, quite peaceful as well. And some parts in the UK as well. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Lizzie says, would black on black fabric be considered air stitching or fog stitching? I don't know, just 310 stitching. It's not air stitching because it's quite strong. The color is quite strong. Just 310 stitching. So I've got four more of this color. It's quite satisfying when you complete all the stitches of a given color within the area. It's a sense of completion, isn't it? Here we go. Solar Winds says, I love listening to you, Yogi. Your voice is relaxing and you seem to be a nurturing person. Yeah, nurturing for cats, Solar Winds. I'm not sure I'll do very well with kids, but I'm quite nurturing for any creature that's got a lot of fur, you know, like my squirrels, my kitties, and I love dogs as well. But, oh, that color is completed. And I love Saga. Saga just takes me to the next color automatically. Lovely. And I'm so happy that you enjoy it. And I enjoy your company as well. You know, every day I get to sit here and stitch with all of you. So I'm very lucky, very lucky. Samantha, hello, hello. Samantha, did you hear what I said about Blackwork? Yes, you know, Samantha, I know you love your Blackwork as well, me too. So we're going to do sort of weekly Blackwork for parties for members. And until we get bored of it and want to do something else. So we're free to do whatever we want. So, but I think there's still quite a lot of things within the Blackwork arena we can explore together. So that's what we're going to be doing. So every Saturday, members are going to get double stream on Saturday. So 902. And it's interesting that I've only, you know, I did the initial sessions with you guys, and then I got to stitch a little bit more later on. It's just amazing how my perspective and in terms of the way I stitch Blackwork changed already, just within a couple of days. It's just like, you know, you have one thing in mind, but when you're actually practically stitching, suddenly your perspective and your idea of what works well kind of change quite drastically. And Betty Hankins, hello. Chelsea says Pepsi Max is sugar-free, but more caffeine, really? Oh, that's why it's Max. Right. Susan Barnes, hello. Lona says, I would call black on black air stitching. You can't see the stitches any better on a white. Let's consider air stitching. Yes, if that's air stitching for you, then that's it then. All right, so I'm on 902, guys. Walk away, Renee. is joining us. She says, I'm late joining. Not too late, not too late. We just got warmed up. We just got warmed up. And she says, I'm stitching the Fairy Kiss today. It's an artisty chart. Your project is pretty. Wouldn't be fun to walk on that street there. Exactly. Because when I'm looking at the this mock-up, I've been to Paris many times. I've never seen a scene like this. Paris is beautiful, don't get me wrong. But I don't know whether this is kind of coming out of the artist's imagination or somewhere. I just have not been in Paris. So it's beautiful, I know. European streets are beautiful. I can see why he's dedicated so many pieces on European streets. Let me just find my spot first. That would be a good start. Here, good. So, 902, 92 stitches, guys. I'm gonna be here for a while. So I expect some spooky bingo activities. Samantha was a little bit late, but not too late, you know. Never too late for a great party. One, two. There. So nearly 100 stitches with this one. I don't know whether you can hear the sound of the thread going through, so satisfying. And you can hear it much clearer with 14 counts. You just feel like, you know, solid stitching. Lona, exactly, better than never. All right. And yesterday, last couple of days, the internet was playing up a little bit. And I think it turned out, you know, it was buffering a little bit. Turned out, I think there's some connection issues with my broadband here. And they fixed it. So hopefully today is smooth sailing. Because for about 2 days, we had sort of buffering issues. And I'm just grateful the connection wasn't down, you know. It was just unstable, I think. Move over here a little bit. Hey, Natty, hello. Natty says, I'm revamping. I'm restocking my master set. Forgot how long it's taken. I know, strangely, it takes some time. Even, you know, if you're building a new set, a master set from scratch, it's going to take a little while. Okay, get all the floss cards ready, all the threads, you know, organized. But even just creating a new thread card, sort of, you know, new cards, like I did a couple of weeks ago for my DMC and CXC, just transferring the floss from one set, from the old set to the new one, probably took most time. It took longer than making the cards themselves. It just takes time because they're like 500 colors. Well, not quite. I don't have all the colors, but close. You know, a few hundred few hundred colors. But once it's done, you're going to feel so much better about it. And can you believe it? We're approaching February, and then there's Valentine. So I don't know whether you guys are starting Valentine pieces. I do have one Valentine themed whip that I have not worked for a little bit. Maybe I will revive that one. Samantha says, I missed the conversation yesterday about the chatelaine pieces. Well, I learned about it for the first time as well. You can watch the replays. It was suggested to me. It's an evolution, isn't it? Because the whole reason Blackwork was even suggested to me was because we were doing backstitching a few weeks ago, and the chat just go, well, have you ever done Blackwork? And I had no idea what it was. And they kind of go, well, you know, if you love backstitching, you'll probably enjoy Blackwork. And I'm so happy, you know, I'm so glad that I follow the idea, the suggestion, and, you know, did a little research. And instantly I just knew it was going to appeal to me because, first of all, it's the simplicity of it. You know, sometimes I know some of you do single colored cross-stitching patterns, like, is it blue circle or whatever circle? They do a lot of those type of patterns. But for cross-stitching, I'm not really drawn to single color work. But backstitching, yes, because I just love the expression of the stitches. It's a little bit like sketching. You know, I enjoy sketching with pencils and dark pens. So I love the line work, if you know what I mean. So, and I love the balance of this, quite a lot of patterns, you know. Everything is symmetrical. And just fun patterns. There's something so beautiful about it. And then yesterday, someone, the chat suggested chatelaine as well. Chatelaine, I had no idea what it is, and now I know, is a company. They do a very specific style of stitching or pattern, and some of them involve beads as well. And it's a combination, not just backstitching, some cross-stitching, but the patterns are, I think, fractal, quite fractal. Is that the same as, is chatelaine the same as, I'm trying to think, because yesterday they're trying to explain to me. I think chatelaine is fractal stitching, fractal patterns. Samantha says, I did look it up and I was mind blown. Yes, chatelaine, it's just a, you know, evolution of things. We go from backstitching to blackwork, gold work, white work, whatever. And now we're in chatelaine. They're all interlinking together. So it's kind of exploration. It's like a path that you walk down and, you know, things start to appear. And these things, I've never even heard of them before. You know, I've been sort of double in stitching for a little while. And I think that's the power of, you know, what we're doing here in terms of real-time sort of information exchange. Because without the live streams, I think very often, you know, you might eventually find these things out, but it probably take a lot more time. And with us, all it takes is someone suggesting something, and we look it up, and before, lo and behold, it's a new world. And those patterns are really beautiful. Have you seen those ones done by, I think was it, who suggested it during live yesterday? And also Nikki turned out has done a couple pieces as well. Is there anything Nikki hasn't done? So every time we bring something up, she will go, hey, here's what I did a while back. Have a look. Okay. Cassie says, I'll be celebrating my birthday on Valentine's Day. I'm considering starting the love letter chocolate shop. Oh, that'll be perfect. And Cassie, your birthday is on 14th. That is lovely. That is it's really, really nice. And that's a beautiful, perfect piece to start on Valentine for sure. So romantic. And this piece as well, this is the wedding store. Wedding dress store. So technically this one is a Valentine piece as well. I really like Egyptian cotton actually. It's so nice to stitch, and I like the fact that it's quite matte. The issue I have with DMC stitching 2 strands or larger stitches is that everything looks shiny. It's got kind of a gloss to it. And sometimes you just don't want that. Hey, Kelly. Kelly's Quotes Plus is here. Lona says, I don't like fractal stitching. Yes, it looks quite intimidating. It can be. I haven't made up my mind how I feel about it yet. Because it just looks very complex. Blackwork I like because, I can just choose to stitch it with one color. And 310, the black color is my, it's my favorite so far. I like the fact it's just so simple. You take one color and you just take off. No color changes. Sarah says, I've never done a Caroline Minning chart, but would like to someday. I'm not familiar with the lady. Would love to know what kind of style that is. Let me have a sip of my coffee. Chelsea says, my anniversary is the 15th of February. Oh, wedding anniversary. That's perfect. So why didn't you choose 14 for the wedding? Wouldn't that be even, spot on? Marilyn says, I have a really old chatelaine as well, probably about 2015. Yes, I mean, I'm just constantly stunned and surprised pleasantly by everyone because, they were thinking, oh, I know a little bit of stitching, of cross-stitching or whatever. No, I know nothing. Because all these things I only learned very recently. I mean, chatelaine, I literally only learned yesterday. I didn't know. what it was or who it was or whatever. And Blackwork, I only learned about it probably over a week ago. So something like that. And I'm stitching it. So oh, this is so relaxing. Lona says some Blackwork patterns have fractal stitches in them. Yeah, that's where the overlap is, because I've seen some sort of more quote unquote modern Blackwork stitch patterns. They're literally kind of just line art, you know, kind of freestyle. I've seen patterns that you can stitch a shape of a chair or something like that, interior, to compose any kind of illustration. And I think that's kind of, I'm quite interested in that as well. But I also love the patterny element of it. A lot of patterns, there's, you know, it's all symmetrical and sometimes a little bit fractal and quite a lot of repeating elements as well. So there, you know, even within Blackwork patterns, there are many styles. I've got 47 stitches to go with this. It's so enjoyable, this. I haven't done minimum to max for a little bit, not in such a large area. And it's really good when you get to, like, when you start to build up a lot of stitches. You just feel like you're flying. I love it. Lynn says, Yogi, I wonder if Lily will send Dolly a Valentine card. Oh my God, can you imagine? You know, Dolly will probably, you know, apply for a straining order from Lily. Oh, Lily still, you know, I saw him just a couple of hours ago when I got home. And yes, he's still trying, but hopefully he's going to get a message and move on, you know. I'm just so profoundly sad, but at this point, I have to protect Dolly, and there's very little I can do at this point. And Dolly was, you know, when I came home, I forgot, because when I, normally Dolly can go in and out of the cat flap anytime, you know, it's always open for her. And recently, when I go to sleep, I actually lock the cat flap both ways, because if I just allow outgoing and try to block the ingoing, Dolly's gonna get locked out. But last night I forgot to lock both ways. So Dolly, when I got back today, Dolly was locked out, hiding under the patio bench, and Lily was just standing there staring, kind of staring at her. Poor Dolly. I mean, Lily's such a lovely cat, but he's just so aggressive with everybody. And it's going to make him, you know, a little bit more challenging to adopt by anybody, really. Unless you have no cats, then maybe that can work out. Oh, Marilyn says 902 bingo. Hey, well done, Lynn. 902 bingo, and I still have 47 stitches to go. So it's yes, it's a long bingo, spooky bingo. Because sometimes I only have one stitch. It's done. It's 902 bingo with Marilyn. Chelsea says we got married during the week as it was cheaper And we also got married in half term, as a lot of our friends are teachers. They can't use annual leave during the school year. I bet if you want a wedding, that's a very good point. If you want a wedding on the dot, on 14th, I bet they probably charge more, do they not? They probably try their best to up the price. Yes, I think there's so much to consider when it comes to wedding day. You want all the loved ones to be there. And it can be quite stressful, I bet. One. This one as well. Cassie says maybe he wouldn't be so aggressive if it was fixed. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that, Cassie, because I have adopted quite a few cats throughout the years from a patio. They literally just wander in, and you can always tell if a cat is going to get along with your own cat if you have existing cats. And I did most of the time. And so I have adapted, I'm trying to think, at least 3 in the past. And they all worked out fine because I can sense they know they're newcomers and they try to get along. They don't have to be besties with existing cats, but they do their best not to be intrusive. And those are great candidates. Lily, no. Lily, I can tell. I'm not sure neutering is going to help him necessarily. I hope so, but I can't, it's too risky. And I don't want to go through all that, that whole process and realize that, it's not working. And it's going to be even more devastating, for everyone. Yes, Lily is very, very aggressive. Not with me. He's so sweet with me. He will literally flip over on his belly. This is a straight feral cat. And he's just so trusting with me. But with any other cats, no, he wants his ownership, of everything. And that's why I've tried so many times throughout the years. I have known Lily for at least 6 years, 5, 6 years. I knew him since he was quite young. I tried it, didn't work out. So we have gone through this process a few times, unfortunately. Alison Rennie says, Yogi, have you looked at the cat flaps that works via the microchips? Yes, I remember maybe it was Alison posted about that on the Facebook group. Yes, I know, I'm aware there are colors that you could have scanners, but the thing is Dolly refuses to wear anything. Dolly is a naked cat, okay? If you try to put a color on her, she will literally fight you to bits, so that's a no-go. And also in the past, I think it was quite a while ago when I tried, there was not microchip sensors, but they basically have a kind of a magnetic thing that reacts with the cat flap itself, and it opens. But the noise was so loud, my cats at that time just could not do it. They got so scared. So yes, it's a little bit challenging with the situation. Dolly doesn't like to wear anything, She's naked through and through. She's wearing white socks though, with a pattern. All right, let me have a look. Cassie says my brother-in-law's cat wears something on their collar that allows them to come in and come and go. Yes, that's probably one of those microchip. Chelsea says regarding the wedding, she says we're on a quite a tight budget and managed to get the whole wedding done for 3,500. Oh, that's pretty good. And it will be 10 years in February. We have 8-year-old, 7-year-old, and 4-year-old. Chelsea has been busy. Well done. 10 years, three kiddies. Yes, 3.5 grand is pretty decent. That's including the party itself, right? Not just the venue, but the catering or whatever it is. That's very nice. Because wedding can be so expensive, and it kind of takes over, you know. Wedding's supposed to be just as, you know, celebration, and the real deal is the life after. But so, you know, very often the emphasis is put on the wedding days, and this, you know, people are under so much pressure to kind of put on a show, and that can kind of, you know, distort the whole meaning of weddings. 902. I'm going to take one more strand, and I've got 32 more stitches. 902. So all the colors from this point on is going to be probably over 100 stitches at a time. I've probably only got a few more colors to go. Very few. Oh, this one snagged. Sarah says, my cats are not allowed out without a harness and leash. One cat loves it and goes for a walk every day. My black cat doesn't want to go do it at all. Yes, I think cats naturally just don't want to be restrained. They're very different from dogs. And I have seen people putting harness on cats. But if you ever want to try that with Dolly, good luck. No way. No chance. She's going to just pack up her suitcase and just leave me. Lona says maybe he's upset about his name. Oh, Lona, that's hilarious. Yes, I know it's a female name, but it kind of just stuck. I try to call him different names, but it just doesn't work. For me, he's Lily. Oh, Alison's. Okay, another color. She's chipped in case she gets lost. Oh, you mean Dolly? Yes, yes. She's chipped from 6, you know, when she went for the first vet visit. That's the first thing they do for any cat. You take to the vet for the first time. They microchip them. Yes, absolutely. And all my cats are outdoor cats. They just go wherever they want. So they're definitely microchipped. Kelly says, we almost had a Valentine baby. Our son will be 25 on 13th February. Oh, that's so close. Can you imagine? Because if your son was born on 14th February, that will be a very good chat-up line, you know? And it's like, hey, this is my birthday on Valentine's Day. You know, would you like to go out for coffee? It's the worst chat-up line. You can tell I can't do it. But it will be something, you know, it's going to make ladies smile. Natty says, I'm planning a new start today if I can get this master set done. I know, you know, the time you want to start a new project most is when you're trying to get your organizer ready. You just feel like, you know, you cannot wait. You cannot wait to stitch. Like, I need to stitch now. I need to get this done now. I feel that every time I'm trying to get my organizer done. But it's going to be sweet once it's done and everything's in order. It'll be so enjoyable. Chelsea says, my husband's cousin spent 14,000 a few years before us. I know. People just go over the top. I think it's fine if you have the spare money to do it, but I've seen people basically killing themselves doing it. They try to save up for a wedding, and I'm thinking, well, no, that's not a point. You should save up for your future, you know, not for that one single day. Who are you trying to impress? You know, no one's going to love you less for not having a massive wedding. Just get people together and have some buffet with some homemade food. It doesn't have to be a big party, you know. I mean, you don't want to invite people you don't even know to come to your wedding. That's probably a good way to gauge what size of wedding you need to have. If you start to, you know, see names you don't even know who they are, no, take them off the list. Lona says, have everyone meet at the courthouse is much cheaper. Spend money on a honeymoon. Yes, even a honeymoon is much better than the wedding itself. You know, I'm not saying you shouldn't see wedding as an important thing. It can be, but it doesn't mean you have to throw all your saving on that one single party. That's insane. Samantha says, my daughter had one of those cat backpacks. They can see out and be carried around. I've seen those on Instagram. I don't know how cats feel about it. I think it's okay if you need to take them to the vet or something. But cats, they're not dogs. You know, they don't follow you everywhere like dogs. So I like to leave my cats as free as possible. So everything they do is by choice. You know, if they want to be with me, it's because they choose to do so, not because I can't confine them. Kelly said this year is a Friday. Oh, for the wedding, it's a birthday or wedding anniversary. Several of us are going to the brewery where he works, and the tap room is great, and they make excellent pizza. That sounds great. That sounds like a, you know, a great party. It's a little bit like dinner parties as well, because some people are obsessed with kind of perfect dinner party, and you know, probably applies to Christmas dinner as well. If you're in charge of cooking, I've seen people literally burst into tears with dinner parties. You know, go to their houses as guests, and you know, people crying in the kitchen because something, you know, got burned or something. It's just so unnecessary. It's nice to have some nice food, but if you really want nice food, you go to restaurants. You go to someone's house is for that experience, you know. It's for the company, for the conversation, and the food. Yeah, it's part of the experience, but it's not be all and end all. Here we go. Lona says, I'm going to start Pandemic by Long Dog samplers as soon as I finish gridding this super stiff 22 count fabric. Are you gridding it yourself? Are you gridding like entire fabric? If you are, Lona, you're very brave. Because I grid as I go because I know I made mistakes. So if I do a whole lot, you know, I'm going to regret it later. I'm going to take one more strand of 902. I've got 17 more stitches. 902. Oh, I think I need to tidy up my 14 count organizer a little bit. It's all slightly snagged or tangled. Because it happens after a while when you take the threads out, sometimes the threads just starting to kind of all cling together. Here we go. Leona says, my youngest son just got engaged. Very nice. Congratulations. And tell him to be sensible with the weddings. You don't have to throw all the savings into one single party. That's just silly. Hey, Captain Squirrel, welcome. Alison says the chips that the vet has inserted is how the cat flap works. All of my cats are outdoors, no colors, and it has app. Oh, I see, Alison. Okay, that's not. Oh, so I misunderstood it, I think. I thought in order for the microchip to react, you have to wear something. Alison is saying that the cats don't need to do anything. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. And I'll definitely look into that then, Alison. That's a great thing to mention. Yes, I misunderstood it. I thought you need to wear color in order to kind of sync with the microchip. And well, Alison is saying that literally, if you're microchipped, you just need to get a door, right? Just get the compatible door, and it will react with microchip. Okay, things have moved on a little bit since the last check. Now it's such a great tip, Alison. I'll definitely look into it. Yes, as long as Dolly doesn't have to do anything, it's much easier. That's good to know. Oh, so Luna is doing epic greeting exercise. I wouldn't be so brave. Lona says, Yogi, he spent 9,000 on her ring. So I'm totally clueless when it comes to the prices of jewelry or wedding bands or engagement ring. Is that a lot or is it quite sensible? I have no idea. It depends on what kind of ring that is. It's an engagement. Engagement rings. I have no idea. Is that a good price or is that extravagant? So I'm pretty much a jewelry accessory free person from head to toe because, you know, particularly since I started teaching yoga, majority of the times I'm on either lycra or sort of tracksuits or leggings, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I wear literally no jewelry. When I was working in a corporate offices, occasionally I'll put on a necklace or some earrings, you know, small ones, studs and stuff like that. Now I just don't want to do anything on my body. I just want to keep everything free. And I'm one of those people. Well, the only thing I wear is Apple Watch. That's it. But I'm one of those people. As soon as I come home, I need to remove everything. Okay, any restricted, you know, anything that's going to restrict my body in any way, I need to remove everything. When I'm outside, I'm okay. It's weird. So any accessories, watches, whatever, I just take them off the moment I walk in the house. Lona says the price was 9,000, but it was retail for 19,000. Well, they can put up any prices they want, those shops. They always go, it's like clothes shops. You know, they go, I don't know, 70% off. And they put like a, you know, really ridiculous price as the retail price. But who knows? I don't know. But why would it be such a discount, I wonder? Alison Rainey says, we never got married. I changed my surname to his via deed poll. What is a deed poll? Okay. Would rather use the money for holiday, house and renovation. Yes, absolutely. And you can just have a, you know, a party, you know, house party with people you care about. Absolutely. So in order for you to change your surname as well, does that mean you have to be technically married? Even though you don't need a wedding necessarily, but does that mean you're married? Lona says the 5-carat high quality diamond rings. I'm clueless when it comes to jewelry. 5-carat sounds pretty big, but I have no idea. Oh, that's a nice one. Sarah says, my husband gave me his grandmother's ring. Very sentimental, and I felt honored to have it. Yes, people don't do that anymore. Not necessarily. I suppose you need to have something that's passed down to you in order for you to pass forward. That's what they do in the royal family, isn't it? And they'll have rings coming from Diana, passing down to Kate and stuff like that. And I think wedding rings is not about whether you like the style or not. Obviously, you have to like it because if you're planning to wear it on a regular basis. But ultimately, it's, you know, what it means. So if someone is willing to pass on something that's, you know, from the grandparents, grandmom or whatever. That means a lot, isn't it? Yay! Oh, hang on. Yes, I did it. 90 something stitches. Oh, my stitch count. My stitch count is going to be epic today. I have a feeling. More than 60 stitches, I promise you. All right. Oh my goodness. The next color is 931 and it's 140 stitches. Yeah, I'm flying. I'm flying. Oh my goodness, Chelsea. Chelsea says my husband went on a silversmith course and made our rings. With what? My goodness. So he went on a course just for that. Oh, that's very nice. So what did he use to make the rings? That's very special. And hopefully he doesn't have to make more rings for other ladies. This is one off, okay? Chelsea. 931, because now he has the skill to make more rings. You don't want to encourage him. 931. All right, 140 stitches. Here I come. Walk away, Rainy says, my Apple Watch detected a fib in my heart. Got me to hospital to get help. Oh yeah, I don't know what a fib is, but Apple Watch does have a feature that if it detects if your heart skips or if your heart stops, it will raise an alarm. And also, if you wear your watch on a regular basis, it kind of monitors your heartbeat. And if there's any irregularity of your the pattern of your heartbeat, it's going to give you a little wave and go, well, maybe you need to go and have a check. Yes, that's a very good feature, and that's that's when the technology really becomes our friend, right? Because sometimes people kind of, highlight bad things about it, like people get preoccupied or whatever, things take over. But there are things that, because of technology, we are safer. And yes, that's a good example. But I think it's a feature you have to turn on. I don't think it's a default. Because some people can be on the surface very healthy, but they have some sort of heart issues that's that cannot be detected until it's too late. We hear about marathon runners, athletes. Sometimes they look so healthy and fit, and then every single marathon, pretty much the large ones, there are always people passing out or even pass away. And prior to that, they had no idea they have issues with their heart. Alison has posted, a link for, is it a cat flap, the door? Oh, thank you so much, Alison. I'll definitely look up that. I hope it's going to fit. If it's a standard cat door, then it's going to fit the opening we already have. That's a really good tip, because I kept thinking that's a no-go, because if Dolly is required to wear a color, that is going to be a deal breaker. That's so good to know. Poor Dolly was locked out. And poor thing was hiding under the bench. And Lily was just standing on top of him, on top of the bench, looking down on her. See you later, Kelly. Hey, Jackie James. Jackie James says, I've got my grandmom's wedding ring and I use it for my wedding day. That's lovely. That's lovely. Yes. So what happens then? Not saying that's going to happen to anybody, okay? I don't know what would be the norm. So let's say if you get married to someone and the person gave you the grandmom's ring, right? And then you get divorced. Do you have to return the ring? What's the normal procedure? Do you have to return the grandmom's ring? And maybe, the husband can give it to the next person. Oh dear. Well, it was just so romantic just now, and I had to ruin it with this. But I'm just curious, what would be the normal thing to do? Do you get to keep the ring if you divorce someone? And particularly if the ring is kind of a family heirloom, then do you have to return it? Chelsea says regarding the homemade wedding rings made by husband, and Chelsea says silver, and then mine has a ruby in it. My engagement ring is an antique with ruby and sapphire in it. I'm sure he's forgotten now. He's never done it since. Well, thank God, Chelsea. You don't want him to get so good that he just keep making new rings, You might have to give it to somebody. So engagement ring is an antique piece, and then the wedding ring was made by the husband. That's very romantic because you always remember it. And also, you can't really complain, right? You can't go, well, the diamond is too small because he made it, so you can't complain. That's very cunning. That's very cunning. Jackie says it's my side of the family, so not a problem. But hang on, so the grandmothers, oh, okay, I misread it. Jackie says, I've got my grandmom's wedding ring. So does that mean the husband didn't have to give you a ring? How does that work? Do you have to give him a ring? Samantha says, 931, spooky bingo, yeah. Congratulations, Samantha. Yes, this one, I have 126 stitches remain, so we're going to be spooky bingling for a little while. Yes, it's a beautiful color, isn't it? This blue. Very pretty. So your wedding is from your own grandmom. And Jackie, I presume you're a lady, or are you... So I thought a wedding ring was coming from the male side or your partner. See, you can tell I'm unfamiliar with this whole procedure. But technically, if it was from your partner's side, do you have to give it back? Let's say if it's worth millions, right? It could. 3 more here. Right, I'm gonna end this right here and bring on a new one. Jackie James says, I'm female. I just wanted to use my grandmom's ring for a wedding. That's interesting. So it doesn't have to come from the other side. And does that mean Jackie, the husband also, presuming it's a husband, the husband also providing his own ring? Is that how it works? So if both sides agree, then you can just use whatever ring you like. You can buy your own ring. Here you go. I've got 120 stitches of this color. But hang on, Jackie. So Jackie's saying she had her grandmom's ring for her own wedding because that's her preference. But at the same time, Jackie had to buy a ring for her husband as well. Jackie, I'm not sure that's a great deal. Maybe you need to rethink about how you go about it. So you have to buy a ring, and the other side does not have to do anything. Well, Chelsea says not all men wear wedding rings. The royal family don't, but then they're not very faithful, aren't they, Chelsea? No, I'm kidding. Well, I don't think you need to wear the rings, but quite a lot of people do, don't they? And I always find it fascinating because it's a piece of jewelry. And personally, I cannot wear rings. I have tried. Quite a few years back, I saw a ring that I really like antique thing that I saw in the flea market. Bought it, tried to wear it for a few days, and literally I felt my whole body was being suffocated. I don't know. Some people just cannot wear anything that's kind of too. I don't know, rings and chokers. I can't wear. And I can't wear anything dangling, dangly earrings. I just can't. So, because people always make a big deal about someone not wearing their wedding rings. But I always just feel like, it's a piece of jewelry. Why do you have to wear it all the time, every day? Jackie says he didn't buy my engagement ring, which is much more expensive than the wedding ring. Oh, that's all right then. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't have to be expensive. But also, not everybody goes through engagement, do they? I mean, sometimes people just get married. Lona says my engagement ring was made by my husband, my husband's great grandfather, who was a silversmith. Oh my God! So the granddad probably went on a course as well, some sort of online course to learn how to be a silversmith. That's very nice. But the thing is, the skill of making a ring, the techniques is one thing, but artistry is different, right? So imagine, I'm just trying to think of the most, the worst scenario of every situation. Okay, so how about, what if, let's say your future husband or whatever, going, hey, I'm gonna make the ring for you, and maybe technically he can learn how to do it, but let's say he's artistically terrible and the ring is just ugly. What do you do? Do you say to him, sorry darling, this is very beautiful, but no chance I'm gonna be wearing it, it's cramping my style, or you just go, well, it's for better or worse, and even though this is so much worse than I expected, I'm gonna just wear this ugly ring. What would you do then? Chelsea says traditionally men weren't given a ring during the ceremony. It's quite a modern thing for men to wear them. Really? So why do people make such a big deal about people not wearing the wedding rings? It's like, oh, there's something going on. There's no ring. Or maybe if a man is not wearing the wedding ring, it's almost like they're trying to cheat or something, to signal to ladies. They say, hey, I'm free. Is that all nonsense? Sarah says, we don't wear our wedding rings every day. Yes, it would be quite tedious, wouldn't it? If you have to wear the same piece of jewelry every day just to prove that you're not going to cheat. It's quite feeble. I'm glad to hear that, because I'm just thinking, oh, just for that reason, I shall marry ever, because I'll probably just have a terrible time. Betty Hankins says, I don't like jewelry. I don't even wear a wedding ring. Yes, imagine if, me as well, if I ever get married, which is very unlikely, I would not be able to wear a ring, like not even occasionally, because I as I said, I really have issues with wearing rings and bracelet, that kind of stuff. I just don't like any kind of attachment to my body. Captain Squirrel says, my husband doesn't wear a ring. And do you? And do you mind he doesn't? And I've seen some people wearing, putting the ring through kind of a chain, a necklace chain, and they just they wear the ring like a necklace. Oh, hello, we have a new friend here. Is it a new NY? I don't know how to pronounce it. Hang on. Say hello to our new friend here. And says, hi, what's the name of that cross stitch? From where, please? I live it. Yes, it's a beautiful piece. It's from a company called Max Stitch Design. It's I got it from Amazon. I just came across it by accident. So from Amazon UK, I don't know where you are, but you can look up the name Max Design, Max Stitch Design. They've got a website, You can buy from them as well. And this piece is under the name, under a different name actually. It's called the wedding store, wedding dress store. If you look up the name on their website, you will find it. And it comes as a kit with paper pattern. And if you write to the company and ask them to send you a digital pattern, they would. So that's what I did. So welcome. Lynn says, Yogi, my engagement ring and I ended up in A&E. Oh my God. A&E cottage renovation got ring trapped on the bricks. Had to have ring cut off, embedded in my finger. Oh, that is a lovely, lovely story you just mentioned there. Yes, how romantic. Yes, anything involves A&E is just, oh, just sounds like Valentine's, isn't it? Oh, dear Lynn. Yeah, I hope everything worked out just fine. You still have your finger attached. And Betty says a ring isn't going to stop either one from cheating. Clearly not. No. Not at all. Yes, I think some people see that as a kind of a statement to go, well, things are not going well. Maybe I'm thinking about divorcing my partner. Therefore, I'm not wearing the wedding ring. Dun, dun, dun. But sounds like a lot of people don't anyway. I wouldn't be able to wear it. Doesn't matter what it is. I have a panic attack. Lona says, I never take my wedding ring off. Lona, is that by choice or is it stuck? Maybe some sort of a, a baby oil or something. Maybe able to help to remove the ring. I'm kidding, Lona. Maybe Lona just loves the ring a lot. So some people choose to wear it all the time. But every day, oh dear. Hey, Jackie. Jackie is listening and stitching 6 portos. Jackie, beware, do not fall into any of the portos, okay? It's a dangerous task that you're doing there. It's better you than me. Here we go. One more strand of 931. I've got 100 stitches, 99 stitches. 931. Michelle Fuller says, it's not the ring that keeps couples from cheating, it's the heart. Yes. And we have no control over someone else's heart, do we? We do our best, but things do go pear-shaped from time to time. Chelsea says, my fingers are bigger size since having children, so they're on their necklace now. Oh, I see. So it cannot be altered, can it? But the husband knows how to fiddle with the rings. Just make it larger, get him to work. You have to get him to show that he cares, right? Or maybe get him to make a new ring. How's that? Like a giant diamond. Jackie says, I just wear a simple wedding band. I ditch my engagement ring a long time ago. So do people wear engagement ring and wedding band at the same time once they get married? So the wedding ring doesn't have to be a ring, it can be a band, right? That doesn't need to have some sort of diamonds or gem on it. I just wouldn't be able to wear any rings, period. And how about wedding t-shirt? Can you just wear a t-shirt? Or some sort of, more comfortable garment. So Lizzie says, I'm wearing 13 rings at the same time. Lizzie says, I do not feel comfortable without my rings at the same time, 13. And are they just kind of accessories, or are they wedding rings? 13 of them. Are they gonna keep you busy? But how do you wear 13 rings when we only have 10 fingers? Lizzie, is there anything you're not telling us? How many fingers do you have? Confess. I won't judge. Rachel Morton says, my parents never take theirs off. I don't think my dad ever wore his band. I just cannot imagine my dad has any jewelry on him. He's not a ring person. He's not any kind of accessory person, just like me. My mom wore a lot of rings, but I still don't know which one was actually a wedding ring. She's got so many. She loves her rings and that kind of stuff. Alison says, Yogi, you just get a ring tattoo on your finger. No, Alison, I like to have the option that maybe one day I can take it off for whatever reasons. Hush, hush. No, I like to have options. And tattoo is just way too permanent for me. Just like marriages, Not that marriages are permanent. Clearly, you can get divorced. And tattoo, you can get it removed as well. But it's that idea. The idea of going, yes, I'm going to have this forever. That scares me. That makes me want to run away. Lona says, Yogi, I don't have my husband anymore, but I have the ring he gave me while he married me. All right, so you get to keep your rings, do you? So if the ring was from his grandparents or whatever, passed down through generations, you get to keep it, even if you're not married anymore. Oh, Chelsea says it's engraved all the way round, so it could be very difficult to resize. I see. That's fair enough. Jackie James says, I only wear my engagement ring for special occasions. Plus, it gets in the way when I'm working. Exactly. Imagine if you're a surgeon, you don't want to, have accidents or operating some sort of heavy machinery. You don't want to lose your rings or having them kind of get in the way of things. Or if you're a baker, you know, you have to knead bread all day long. Imagine. That's not very hygienic. Let me have a sip of the coffee. Alison says, I have 3 engagement rings. First was a name change ring. Name change ring? Oh, for you to change your surname to the husband. I didn't know you get a ring for that. Is it some sort of reward for changing name? Oh, it's a world I really don't know. Yes, I'm learning so much today. So first it was a name change ring. Hubby got a guitar for changing your name to his, and he gets a guitar. I'm so confused. Second, he proposed on top deck on cruise, asking me to not marry him. We still call ourselves ourselves husband and wife. All right, that's so interesting. So he did a proposal, marriage proposal of the reverse kind. That sounds like fun. It's a statement, isn't it? To say, we love each other and we don't care about marriage. We don't need to do that. Lynn says, Yogi, in order to do about sharing, but he's not a cross-stitch lover, gets a bit jealous because he's not getting attention. Oh, Lizzie, you're describing my worst nightmare. Because Lizzie says they're accessory rings, and Lizzie claims that she wears 13 rings at one time. And she says some are piled on top of the other. Oh my God, I'm getting hyperventilated just thinking about it. I literally feel like I'm being suffocated just thinking about that. Just rings piled on each other on the finger. Oh, I can't. Yes, it's better you than me, Lizzie. Lola says, I consider myself married, even though he died. Okay, so not through divorce. Yes, he moved on to another dimension. I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm sure he's very happy where he is. And yes, I presume that it maybe you divorced, but the husband passed away, and Lona says we were married together when he died. Okay, that makes sense. Of course, in that case, you get to keep everything. You get to keep the rings. I was thinking about on an event, if you divorce, if you break up, then do you get to keep, do you keep your rings? I don't know what the done thing normally is. Let me see how many colors I've got left. Oh, I've got a feeling. Oh my God. Really? That's not correct. Let me check this. Minimum to max. Okay, I've got one more color. Once I finish this color, literally, I'll be flying. Oh no, that's not true. No. Speak too soon. No, I've got a few more colors, but the numbers are growing. Oh, this is interesting. So I haven't sorted my threads in the right order because the remaining ones, they're about 70 to 80 stitches. All right then, that's fair. In that case, I'm gonna do it in order. 3A60. Which one? Where are they? Over there. These are done. Okay. So 161, guys. And I've got 76 stitches. 76. 161. Yes, I didn't check the sorting of the thread list. Oh, it's a chocolate time then, Chelsea. Go for it. Yes, what time is it? Oh, you're quite right, Chelsea. Yes, it's about 10:30. We have chocolate break. Very good, very good. We can have a chocolate break. Yes, I'm really enjoying this. It's a very relaxing stitching. Look at this. It's so pretty. I'm stitching the shop at the background there. And it's got a blue front door there. It's really pretty. Yes, chocolate time, guys. Let me just remove this for our chocolate time, and you get to see the whole piece. Yeah. SolarWind says, SolarWind is being so positive. SolarWind says, I wish I've never been married. I discovered the hard way. It wasn't for me. I'm sure it really depends, isn't it? Marriage is not easy, I'm sure. Just like relationship is not easy at all, is it? I mean, marriage is not for everyone, but then again, some people love it, right? Some people love being married. So here we go, chocolate time, guys. And let me bring on my chocolate here. Dun, dun, dun. 74% cacao, dark chocolate. My chocolate supply is running a little bit low. I need to top it up very soon. Bring your snackies, okay? Bring your own chocolate, you know. It's not supplied by the channel, okay? Cheers, everyone. Oh, power snacks. For power stitching. Lizzie says, I've never been married. Would love to have been married. Well, you know, it's never too late, Lizzie. Go for it. I mean, so, you know, I don't think marriage necessarily makes things easier or harder. Ultimately, is that relationship itself, whether, you know, whether you're happy together. I think for my parents, it was a combination of things. I mean, they stayed together till they passed away, but were they happy? Who knows? I don't think they were super happy, but not bad enough they wanted to divorce each other. You know, quite a lot of marriages probably are within that kind of zone that, you know, they're not super happy. They may be, you know, from time to time thinking about, well, where would I be if I was with a different person, but not so bad that they, you know, want to divorce. Probably just a hassle of going through things. So they kind of settled. All the coffee is lovely. Chelsea says, I think it's the person you're married to. I doubt I would do it again if my husband passed away. Yes, sometimes it works, just like relationship, you know. I think for me, it takes a lot for me to want to be with a person because I want my freedom, and I, you know, do things my way. So in a sense, if the other person wants the same thing, kind of wants to do things his own way, then we're talking about, you know, clashes. And that happens a lot. But there are certain things, you know, some things you can compromise, some things you can't. And that's different for every individual. There's no right or wrong. I think you just need to make a choice and be happy with it. A lot of times I think with relationship, I draw a lot of parallel to yoga practice, because I think, you know, or any form of, you know, exercise you do with the body, is being able to tell the difference between, for instance, if you in yoga you have to do deep stretches. Sometimes it feels really, really challenging, but it's not a bad sensation, even though it's very hard. And there's certain move you really have to work really hard. So it's you could interpret that as pain, but it's a good pain because it kind of allows you to become stronger and allow you to follow the path of practice. But there are sensations that shouldn't be there, like discomfort or pain. That's just, you know, your body is being damaged in some ways. And I see relationship very, very much like that. There are challenges, but are they good challenges? You know, is it going to help the relationship to grow? Or it's just something that you shouldn't put up with? And it's not always easy to tell, because day to day we're so focused on getting through each day. And yeah, sometimes we don't come back and check our feelings. Hey, busy mom, and Natty as well. Natty says, I'm very, very much in happy relationship for 10 years. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Jackie says, I always joke with my husband that he doesn't have to worry about me finding someone else. One husband in this lifetime has been enough. Oh, yes. Yes, Jackie's done. Lovely chocolate. Let me take another sip of coffee and we will resume. Rachel Morton says, I've never married, but some come close once. I'm happy where I am, but always wonder what would have happened. Yes, I think, you know, the grass always looks greener on the other side. Not always, but sometimes we have this, you know, it's kind of the idea thinking that what if? And I don't know. I suppose marriage is not something, well, you can always pursue it. You know, it doesn't matter what age you are. A lot of people get married later in their lives because it feels like, you know, they've got the right person and it's the right time. Everything R says, I'm still quite young, but I think too much about the concept of future relationship. I start freaking out. I've never liked anybody. I've never liked anyone. Can't imagine it. But I'm not opposed to relationship. But everything art. If you don't, If you never liked anybody, surely if you want a relationship, you have to like the person, do you not? Maybe you just haven't found that person yet. Sometimes it takes some time, you know, for the right person to appear. Over here. But sometimes we kind of, you know, having too much expectations on relationship and marriages probably. We think it has to be a certain way, and, you know, it's a little bit more complex than that. Everything else is one of my friends got engaged last month. It's the right move for her, but it's funny how different stages everyone is. Absolutely, absolutely. Because different stages of life, you have different things you want to pursue and different priorities, right? And also, it's a combination of whether you have the right person at all. And, you know, fancying somebody because you're attracted to the person versus whether you can marry the person and be happy are probably very different things. Okay, let me mark these ones as I go. I'm double checking. Why does it look like this? Oh, geez. I think I stitched in the wrong spot. That's why nothing matches up. Okay, that's all right. I just need to come over here. It's okay. Because this is actually quite a large area for me. I don't normally work in such large area. So I get lost sometimes. Okay, there's one more here. Everything else says, yes, I've never been in a relationship, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. The not like anyone is certainly a bit of a barrier, yes. Well, maybe your taste is just very specific. And chemistry, you can't manufacture chemistry. It's not a shopping list. It's not like, oh, this guy or this person is this, that, and the other, therefore I fancy the person. No, it has to be gut feeling, right? You need to look at the person and go, yes, this is the person. Or feeling attracted to the person. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Ooh, falling off the screen here. Let me move it back a little bit. I think this piece would be so pretty with back stitching as well, you know, because it's all about definition of all the structures here. Hey, Janine. Janine says, hello, everyone. I've been listening while driving home. Good girl, good girl. Do not drive and text, okay? Yes. And are you home yet, Janine? And Janine says, I love being married, but I married late, 57 years old. But it took time for those just to find the one just fit me. Oh, that's a very inspiring story. So Janine, did you say you got married when you're 57? Wow, that's sometimes it takes some time, for the right person to show up. And also not just for the right person, but a compatible person. And that has a lot to do with where you are in life as well. And I think in Janine's case, she's been, not waiting, but preparing herself to meet this person. And it's taken 57 years. But she's happy. I know the husband likes Walmart a little bit. But I'm sure it's a very healthy obsession, Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with to like a little bit of a Walmart. So there you go. Everything art. Maybe, not yet. Be patient. Be patient. Ooh, it's got caught. Lynn says, Yogi, my boss always says it's not the cover of the book. It's what's inside the book that counts. Absolutely. Just like cross-stitching kids, You, if you just look at the mock-up, maybe it looks nice, but you have to unbox it. You have to unbox. That's why we have a lot of unboxing videos. People want to know what's on the inside then. Shall I buy it? Yes. Do not judge the book. Do not judge a cross-stitching pattern. Just purely looking at the mock-up. I don't know what else you have to look at. Well, you do have to look at the mock-up. Sarah says, I was still in high school when I got married. And look at Sarah, she's still married. It's so different for everybody. And there's no right or wrong journey, right? And also, marriage or relationship is not a destination. It's just one of those things that happened or we choose to have. I mean, life is so much bigger than the relationships. And it's important to know, so if the relationship no longer works, you don't feel like your whole life disappears. Because you are not your relationship. You are you. Very nice. And 161, 161. One more strap. I've got 53 more stitches to go. Janine says, so my husband has 3 children from his ex. I never had children, so got an instant family. Yes, that's nice. That's very nice. And particularly if you get along, right? Definitely. Chelsea says, I was 23 when we got married and 24 when I had my oldest. Wow, that's a very young mum. I'm going to start here. So I'm working this area here. Sarah says, I had my first son when I was 20. He just turned 36 2 days ago. Wow. And I just love that Sarah is always so positive, not sort of, unreasonably just upbeat. Because some people, they're slightly hyper. With Sarah's energy, then I feel that she's got things sorted. She knows what she's doing, and she knows her place in life, her purpose, and very disciplined with her days. It's lovely. I think it's important to know that wherever you are in life, sometimes we think about what if, but to be honest, I really do not think life is an accident. Wherever you are, you're there or you're here for very good reasons. And there's a purpose to everything. So do not think that you're missing out on something. You're here for very good reasons. Okay, I'm gonna take it over here. Well, actually, I'm gonna take it downwards. So I'm gonna respect the boundary of the pages for now, so I don't get sidetracked. Oh dear. So this stitch, Okay, I've got one stitch off, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No one will notice. Samantha says, I'm retrying color flow method again on my Amy Stewart piece, but not doing block by block. But doing block by block. So how do you do color flow and doing block by block at the same time? Are you flowing within a block, as in 10 by 10? That's interesting. Because Gemma's methods, both of them, the original and color flow, literally just pretty much, you know, not taking blocks into consideration. It's pretty much just flow with the pattern. Let me see. Samantha says, I'm trying Stitchery Lovers method. And how does it work then? So if it's flowing, if you're doing color flow, how do you do it within a block? I suppose you could, in theory. All right, let me take one more string of 161. Just have a sip of my coffee. Samantha says she works 10 by 10 at a time and part the color in the next one if it's there, and she's fastened off if it isn't. So, but in terms of how she completes within the 10 by 10, is it color completion? If it's a color completion, well, I suppose 10 by 10 you do one color at a time, then that's color completion. Because color flow, well, I suppose you can call it whatever you want, but it's a little bit different. Yes, from the sound of it, Samantha, you're working within a block, right? And you pick one color at a time and complete that color. So technically is color completion one block at a time. So you complete all the colors in following whatever order. Yes, yes, exactly, Samantha. So color flow, well, for Gemma, it's a little bit different. So Gemma is flow with the colors, literally, with no particular restriction. Yes, but that's a really nice method to do as well. That was probably the first parking method I learned, block by block parking. And that was my go-to method for a long time. So I'm going to flow from here. And as you're working block by block, are you following the diagonal pattern shape, or you're doing top down? I suppose you could do top down, row by row. Solar Wind says, I'm making sure that I have no stitches, they're not attached, and no boxed in stitches on all 4 sides. Oh, Solar Winds, are you doing color flow from the center, from the sound of it? Because if you're flowing from the corner, you probably do not have to deal with parking thread on all sides. That's very interesting, because color flow, technically, you could flow from wherever on the pattern, from the corners, from the center, because all it is, just like Solar Wind says, it's about making no floating stitches, and follow the colors. 1, 2, 1, 2. Where am I? I can't even find it. Hello. Okay, here. That one is done. All right then. With this one. See you later, Sarah. Enjoy the cooking. Solar Wind says it's sort of color flow, but I'm doing 10 by 10 blocks. Interesting. Yeah, I think technically you can probably do color flow-ish stitching method within 10 by 10, even though it's very small. And also, it depends on what formation of the 10 by 10, you know, in terms of what order you're stitching. Is it diagonal? Is it top down? Left to right? Samantha says, I started from top left and working downwards. I hate blocking stitches on this 25 count because it's so tiny. I'm trying to find my stitching jam. So if you're starting from top left, working downwards, so there are different ways you could, different orders you can do your block by block stitching. I mean, the most popular one is probably diagonal, because it makes sense, right? You just keep going from upper left to bottom right diagonally. But I've seen people doing vertical, like one block in a column, one by one. That's definitely doable as well. But you probably have to kind of choose to park in a certain way. So when you pick up, I suppose you can park to the right, right? If you start from the left, working in the column, or you can do top down, you can do horizontal row, block by block, and then downwards. There are different ways you could do it. But the idea is very simple, you know, very similar. You do one block at a time and park to the next block, or the blocks you're going to get to the soonest. Lona says, Yogi, when you say no floating stitches, are you saying no cross country? Yes, because no floating stitches is these are floating stitches. So how I visualize it is wherever the area that I've completed is almost like an island. And if you start to float stitches away when you create these little gaps, you're floating stitches. So if you look at how I stitch color flow or Gemma's method, you would never see gaps like this. So literally, you're following the edges. It doesn't have to be a straight edge, but you are easing away from the edge, stitch by stitch. So there's a part, at least one side of your stitches is attached to the island, if you know what I mean. So you will not have formation of stitches like this. This is cross country. So Janine says, I can never be restrained to 10 by 10 block. I like to wander. But Janine, the way you wander is pretty disciplined because you don't flow you don't cross country very far away. So, you know, you have sort of, you're quite close to the completed area. So it's kind of what I called mini cross country. I like that as well. It works for some of the patterns. And some of the 28 count projects I've got, I wander much further. So that's longer distance cross country. See you later, Sarah. You're welcome, Lona. So Janine's cross-country method is very measured, which is probably good because you don't have to come back and fix all the blue stitches later on, because that's when people kind of go, oh, do I have to do that? But the great thing about cross-country is you're free to stitch, to go wherever you want. But you do create a lot of loose stitches. You have to come back and fill in. So the pros and cons. Pros and cons. Okay. And this color, I've got 20 more stitches to go. It's really lovely. It's such a nice little rest, particularly, you know, if you're working on projects that's got more confetti. It's just nice and relaxing. It's really, really nice to do. And I love the chunky stitches as well. Very, very satisfying. Samantha says, I love cross country, but I tend to miscount my stitches then. Yes, you can miscount things. I mean, I miscount things even with very short distance cross country. And it really depending on the sort of any given area that you're working in. If it's starting to create very vast kind of cross-country patterns, you can mistake one area to the other because sometimes things start to look kind of similar. Like this one right here. I actually spotted, you know, kind of stitching incorrect areas a few times, because they start, the formation of the stitches start to look very similar sometimes, and that can happen. Let me see this one. 1, 2, 1, 6, 1. And I think that, you know, the quote-unquote perfect stitching method for you is probably not static, right? Because I started off stitching full coverage with a lot of parking, because I was quite overwhelmed by how the different colors kind of just blend together, and I didn't know how to manage that. And when I discovered parking, I thought, wow, this is a solution. And that makes sense, because you just take the thread and park it in the next location until you're ready to stitch it. And so that was my go-to method for quite a while. And then I had to learn how to cross-country, because suddenly I don't have pass threads, you know, to kind of, they're waiting for me. I have to make a decision on how far I want to travel and where do I end and how do I end it. But and gradually you learn. Here, I think I'm here. See, I'm having trouble even just finding the correct location, because there I didn't count, but I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 5 blocks. That's huge for me. That's a large area. 5 by 5. That's like, how many blocks? 25 blocks. Chelsea says 809 stitches for me today off the bed. Yeah, well done, Chelsea. Sweet dreams. 99. Chelsea's in the UK as well, so same time zone as me. So it's bedtime for a lot of people. 11 o'clock. One, two, three, four. Yes, Chloe, Chelsea has to be very careful, because, you know, before she knows it, she's going to be in the alien club. A 14 count stitching, just so grounding. You just feel like, oh, yes, give me some of that. And I've got 9 stitches, so I've got 4 here. Okay. And where are they? There are 4 loose stitches. Okay, found it. Here we go. So 4 more stitches hidden over here. And 2 more. This color will be done. Oh, hang on. There's one more. There's one more hidden stitch. Where is it? So I can see 4. 4 here. There's one more. Sometimes it's like treasure hunt, particularly if you're working on a large area, and there's just 1 or 2 stitches somewhere hidden in an area, but you can't find it. You can't see it. Okay, I've got 4 here, but there's one more. Where are you? Okay. Treasure hunt time. Where are you? There's one more stitch. Oh, yes, got it. Bingo, found it. One, 6, 1. Finished. Very nice. Next one, 310, my goodness. Okay, it's a bit of a 310 action. Spooky bingo, here we go. 310. And I've got 136 stitches. Oh, 310, because the number's just going up. Here we go. Wow, it's quite a lot. Quite a lot of 310 stitches. Samantha, there you go. Yes. Jackie says I just finished 310, so I'm having a relay spooky bingo with Jackie and the spooky bingo with Samantha. Yes, congratulations. I knew it. Ooh, over there. Chelsea says, I've got 3,310 stitches tomorrow. That's why I called it a night. 3,000? So you planned it. You're going to do 3,000 tomorrow. Chelsea, we have an alien club. it's good job the Sarah has gone, has gone for dinner. Because otherwise she's just going to just, will out a whole bunch of cookies, milk for you right now. Wow. 3,000? But I remember it was Nikki a while ago with one of the pieces. She went extreme cross country with 310. And she did, it was 10 stitches though, I have to say. I think it was 10 stitches. She did 4,000. I think it was 4,000. Yes, solar winds. Yes, bring out the alien, alien emoji. I think Chelsea is firmly, qualified to go in that club. Yes, but even Chelsea says it's background, no confetti at all, but still, the time it takes to do 3,000, the same color, and stay sane, that makes you an alien. Oh, Bologna. Lona says it's a lot, but doable. Bologna, you're in the alien territory, so you can't talk, okay? You're in a different dimension. We're talking about normal people, mere mortals. Like me. I think even with no confetti, just block stitching, 310, 3,000, I think I'll probably lose my mind in about 300. 3 blocks into it, I'm going to just call it a day and go, hey, give me some confetti to play with. I think block stitching is a different kind of challenge. Solar Wind says 4 seasons is confetti central. Yeah, it's a balance of everything, isn't it? What I like about a pattern most is when it's got kind of a blend of both. So you can take a break, from time to time in a nearby area, do a little bit of, not block stitching, but you can stay with one color for a little bit. But you have some colors to play with. If it's just, solid colors, then I lose my mind as well. I'm just never happy. I just need changes. So that's kind of a thing. Wow, really? 10 by 10. 10 by 10 area. So 100 stitches got 90 colors? Really? What kind of pattern is that, Solar Winds? That is brutal, man. Because I think, within a block, 10 by 10 block, any number above 30 color changes is pretty confetti. But 90 colors is just unreal. It shouldn't be allowed. I'm sure it breaks some sort of law, It's just it's too much. Chelsea says, I've done 5 blocks of 310 today. Just do the blocks in order. So it's normally a mix. Just the edge is so black. I know I've got patterns that's got a not even solid colors, just all dark colors. Even that, even just with, you know, color changes within dark colors, I can only do it for a little bit before I have to switch. I think my mind just cannot cope with doing very similar things for longer than, I don't know, half an hour. That's kind of my threshold. So knowing that, I have to pick my patterns very mindfully. You know, there's one thing, liking a pattern, thinking it's a beautiful picture. It's quite another to be able to stitch it. So that's why I always go for patterns that's got a lot going on there. You know, it's good fun, but also it keeps my mind sane. I know myself too well. The thing with confettis, sometimes, you know, some confetti, you know, area, you kind of go, well, that's justified. For instance, you know, the vintage toys piece I was working on yesterday, where the robot is, the confetti is totally justified because in that area, every color switch counts. It does something. You know, you can kind of see why it's charted that way because it has to be. But some confetti, you just go, really? Are you sure? You know, you just go, is it even necessary? You feel like you're just, you know, it's confetti for confetti's sake. But I think the robot area that I'm working on is totally justified. The 310 continues. Chelsea says I'm doing a strip of 5 blocks all the way from left to right and then back to the left for the next 5 block strip. So horizontal strip. Whoa. So literally no color changes, just the same color. So that's why I prefer max colors, because max colors, even when you have an area that's kind of quite, you know, quite dark, normally if you go for regular colors, you probably end up having to do block stitching. But if you go for max colors, it will come with some sort of blend to it. So even something that looks like solid 310, it will blend with a few other colors. So that is, you know, it's easier for me. It's actually easier for me. Maybe that's why I like max colors. Because block stitching for me is probably just as challenging, if not more, than confetti. Lona says, I love pictures with snow in them. However, air stitching terrifies me. You should be terrified, Lona. Yes, snow stitching is no joke. That's why when we're picking the Christmas pieces, there was one piece from Hage I actually quite like, but then it dawned on me on how much snow. You know, depends on the design. Sometimes snow is not pure white, but that one has a lot of pure white stitches. and that for me was just too risky. Solomon says there's a large number. There's very many sit next to each other, so I'm very good at threading needles. Yes, I think it depends on the stitching method. If you don't enjoy threading needles, do not go near Gemma's methods, either of them, color flow or whatever, because there's a lot of threading, unthreading of needles. I enjoy it; it's part of the flow, and but yeah, it could be a showstopper if you don't like it. Chelsea say blocks of 310 are still better than moving the hoop. Why do you not like that? Chelsea says, I feel like I need 4 hands. I don't have great grip. So it's frustrating. I need a bigger hoop. I'm currently using an 8-inch. Or maybe you can get one of those frames, you know, the rolly frames that some people have. It's huge though. Basically just you have majority of the area, quite a large areas, it's kind of visible for you because the frames are so large. And also you just need to roll the frame up and down. But I do change and reframe my fabric from time to time. Just, you know, just a nice change. So you look at the picture slightly differently. Stitchy says, does Markup app allow you to find a color just in one location? I have only used Pattern Keeper. What do you mean allow you to find a color in just one location? Oh, do you mean like what I'm doing here? Let me just show you if you don't know what's happening on my app here. You mean this? Like a user-defined area. No, Markup does not allow you to do that. What you can do though, Markup recognizes pages. So there is a page by page view. Technically, you can get a all combined together view, like a whole pattern, just like Pattern Keeper. But it doesn't work well in my case because it was very sluggish. Maybe because I have a very old iPad, or maybe it's an app. I have no idea. But you're not able to have a user-defined area if that's what you mean. So you can try Saga. So I don't know what hardware you've got. If you're interested in sort of user-defined area, this way of stitching, then Saga is a good choice. And Pattern Keeper does not have that ability to do that. Susan Barnes says, did you buy the pattern from Stitches So Beautiful? I did get the one you were talking about today. Susan, are you talking to me? Are you talking about this pattern? This is from Max Stitch Design. It's a stitching kit. So I don't know which pattern you're referring to. Lona says Yogi Max Colors shows more details. Yes, I think technically it does. But, you know, I do have a couple of regular color pieces. They're quite beautiful as well, like Vintage Baker. That's regular color. And there's a Grandmom's Loft, or I can't remember the name of the piece. It's regular colors as well, Amy Stewart. And it's quite beautiful as well. So I think it varies from pattern to pattern. But in theory, yes, I think Max Colors obviously captures more details and colors. One more strand of 310. Yes, so each time I pick a new thread of the same color, does that mean there's a new spooky bingo? Can I claim, like, can I ask for new spooky bingo? Because I've been stitching 310 for the last 15 minutes. But I have had about 3 different strands, new strands. Lola says, Yogi, which hay piece was it? Which one are you referring to? Oh, Rachel Morton says, anyone else in, is it North Carolina? What's TN then? Is it, which state is it? Preparing for a snowgaddon. Is it going to be a snowstorm over there? My goodness. Why do I sound slightly envious? I shouldn't be. No, it sounds scary. But we have 5 flakes in London so far. Probably because we don't really snow that much here. So I've got this irrational romantic notion with snowing. I'm sure if it snows a lot, you probably won't like it very much. But I like a little bit more than 5 flakes, maybe 6 flakes. Rachel says, my phone says 17 inches of snow between Saturday and Sunday. 17 inches! That's like a lot of inches, Rachel. Rachel says, I'm 40. And Rachel just aged herself, just revealed age. Well done. Rachel says, I'm 40 and have never seen more than 14 inches of snow here in North Carolina my entire life. Oh my God, so it's going to be a historical event as far as weather goes. Oh, that sounds scary though. I hope everybody, all infrastructure is going to keep everybody nice and safe. I think the best thing, just stay home, Rachel, and stitch with Yogi, okay? That's the best policy. Do not venture out unless you have to. So let me identify this one. 2. Here. You need to start from the right spot, otherwise everything else will go pear-shaped. Oh, Lona is having celebrating the snow with some chocolate. Right, so even 2 inches is pretty major. 17, I can't imagine. You can bury 17 inches. How many centimeters is that? Is it 1 meter yet? I cannot do the conversion, okay. We've got to be very careful. You can get buried. Do not get buried by the snow, okay? I remember a couple of weeks ago, I came across this YouTube channel. It's run by a lady basically living in the coldest city in the world. It's somewhere in Russia. No, Siberia. Siberia is part of Russia, no. But it's in Siberia, and it's the coldest city in the whole world. It's like minus 70 Celsius, I ask you. Basically everything, you know, your nose is probably can get frozen and fall off if you're not careful. But it's amazing when they go indoor, like to a restaurant and everything, people are wearing short sleeves. So the heating must be working so hard. And imagine if the heating goes down. Jesus, those houses are literally like fridges. That's insane. Oh dear, stay safe, everyone. That is crazy. How long does it have to snow to have that kind of build-up? You know, because snowing is one thing. You can have snowstorm, but it takes time to build up 17 inches. My goodness. Make sure where you get the weather information is correct and reliable. But the thing is, the weather app here for London, anyway, I kind of do not pay that much attention to future prediction, because even for maybe for the next day, but if it says, well, you know, in a week's time it's going to snow, I just never even believe that, because it changes every few hours. Oh, Clara says grandma's attic. Yes, yes, that's it. That's Amy Stewart's piece. I need to stitch that one. I missed that one. And it's regular colors, and it's very pretty. Very, very pretty. So that one and Vintage Baker, they are regular colors. And I think the other ones, they're all max colors. Oh, and TN is Tennessee. Thank you. Because last time when I saw NC, I thought it was New York City. Clearly that's not correct. It's NYC. What do I know? Yes. Wow, -14 Fahrenheit. What temperature is that in Celsius? That one? I think my stitch count today is going to be spectacular. Just a guess. Just a guess. Oh dear. Samantha says -28 Fahrenheit. What temperature is that in Celsius? That sounds very mighty scary. Lynn says, Yogi, my partner, have a Land Rover with poor people in cars out of snow. Oh, that's really nice. So you go out and rescue people. And where do they take them? Where do you take them then? Do you take them home and give them some hot cocoa and a blanket? Can you imagine if you're stranded in snow? Oh dear, you need someone like Lynn and a husband. Oh dear. Got caught, this one. I'm making a little mess here. Stitchy says, I love stitching snowy projects, but I hate being in the actual snow. Stitchy, do you like air stitching? Do you enjoy a spot of air stitching? Are you an alien? Beware. We may have an alien in the chat who enjoys stitching snow. Chelsea says 17 inches is roughly 43 centimeters. My God, is that half a meter? Lona is complaining not having heavy snow. Lona says we're supposed to get heavy snow, but sadly none is what we get. So you actually want some snow action. And Lona is also complaining some really random things, saying, I can't eat chocolate. You need chocolate break. Yeah, Lona, you don't have to eat chocolate in a chocolate break. You can eat any snacky things, you know, but you have to provide your own snacks. At this stage, with the restriction of the technology, you know, Yogi's not able to supply chocolate just yet. That day may come. You know, one of those days when we say chocolate time, everybody just have the magical, you know, 70% dark chocolate materialize in front of them. But be patient. The technology is evolving. The day will come when we have simultaneous, you know, chocolate just appear right in front of you. Busy Mum says 14 Fahrenheit here, and that's 10 degrees Celsius minus. My goodness, the other day we had wind chill factor, because technically it was about -1, but with wind chill it was -4. My God, it was freezing. It was freezing. And I was, you know, normally with about 3 layers, I'm okay on bicycles. And that day, my hands were freezing, like frozen. I thought I was going to get frostbite. Quinell says, I'm in VA. Is that Virginia? And is this like a test for American states? You know, I'm testing my, you know, my knowledge of the states in America. And Quinell says, I'm in VA and I will not be able to cope if I get 17 inches of snow. I don't think 17 inches is normal in any state. I hope it's not. 17, that's like half a meter of snow. That's not normal. Stitching says, oh no, not stitching. It's Betty Hankins says, I was living in a part of Tennessee in 1993 when we were hit with a blizzard. We had over 2 meters of snow. Hang on, 2 meter is what? It's about, yeah, 2 feet. Sorry, 2 feet of snow. 2 feet of snow is, and no power for 2 weeks. That's probably the worst part. No heating. Betty, it's good to be alive. Jeez. Yeah, the worst combination is when you snowed in. 2 meter of snow, 2 feet of snow is like over a meter, no? Oh, I need some sort of converter when I'm streaming. And 310, one more strand. Well, in that case, I'm not going to complain about London not having snow because it doesn't sound like fun. Combined with power cut. Samantha says minus 28 Fahrenheit is minus 33 Celsius. Hello. All right. That's super cold. That's not that different from Siberia, where that lady lives. It's a minus 60 Celsius. See you later, Lizzie. 99. Oh no, Cornell says I went into labor, blizzard, 1996 with my last child. I was terrified. I do not blame you. Wow, so the child was born in a snowstorm. I bet the child is strong. Lynn says, Yogi, I think cross-stitching is clever and stunning. Well, I think it's clever and stunning because it's so simple as well. Because, you know, I have seen a lot of intricate embroidery going on, you know, on Instagram and wherever I watch. But, you know, these people are very skilled and they probably practice for decades in order to stitch like that. So that's one form of, you know, skill and art that I appreciate. But what I love about cross stitching is the simplicity of it. Literally, you know, the entry sort of, you know, qualification is not, it's pretty low in a good way because all you have to do is to be able to hold the needles and do a cross. Then you can cross stitch. I mean, it's a little bit more intricate than that. You know, if you do full coverage, it's a little bit more involved. But if you're doing any form of cross-stitching, samplers and stuff, literally, it's just one cross at a time. There's nothing more. And that's the beauty of it. And you can make beautiful, beautiful pictures just do one cross at a time. Stitchy says, I'm new here. I'm not sure what air stitching is. I hate stitching white though. Yeah, exactly. That's air stitching. It's like the stitches kind of look invisible on white fabric, which is, it's like you're stitching, but you can't see anything. That's air stitching. Okay, so, and yes, air stitching should be feared. Unless you're alien. Yes, Lizzie explained. Janine says this. The wisdom from Janine. Okay, Janine says it's very hard to cross stitch when your hands are cold. Yes, Janine, it's very hard to do many things when your hands are cold. Even cycling, you know, it was -4 the other day with wind chill in London, and yeah, I was, you know, my hands were frozen. I could just about stay balanced on my bicycle. Right, so VA is Virginia. Stitchy says, I did my whip parade recently and realized we have a lot of white and snow. Oh, Stitchy, are you a floss tuber as well? You're welcome to share your channel. So you just inadvertently just pick snow to stitch. Okay, that's not normal. I try to run away instinctively. Or anything that's kind of, very subtle in color. For instance, the piece Battleship, for instance, that's stitched by quite a few of you with the Heaven and Earth Soul. That is just way too subtle for me. It's a beautiful piece, but no chance I'll survive that piece. Let me see. Two stitches here. Lynn says, Yogi, if I was cycling in London, my hands would be cold with fright. Oh, you're just being over dramatic. It's not that bad. And you just need to do it sensibly, not to run traffic, a red light. A lot of cyclists do. But I don't consider myself as a, quote unquote cyclist. I'm just a person on bicycle. So I mostly travel on my bike. And it's just a way to travel from A to B. That's it. So you just need to be sensible and courteous with, cars on the road and not try to get ahead, and that's it. And if you respect other like motorists and other people on the road, they will respect you as well. I don't think anyone would intentionally try to run over you. So I hope. But it's just a good practice to be courteous and just follow the traffic. Don't do anything silly. All right, so we have a floss tuber here. So I cannot pronounce the the handle. So guys, you can have a look. So welcome. It's Stitchy species. Okay, there you go. I try my best. All right, so have a check on Stitchy's channel and welcome. We do have a lot of floss tubers visiting us. Lona says road rage is terrible in America. Yes, road rage is weird, isn't it? Because those people are probably good people normally. And they get into a car, they turn into lunatics. It's a weird thing. It's a very kind of knee-jerk response. And I don't know why people feel that way. They kind of take traffic personally. And that's a strange phenomena. Ah, Wreath pieces. Okay. Ah, I see. Okay, stitchy wreath pieces. There you go. I get it. So welcome. Solar Wind says, do the cities in England still have bicycles for everyone to use? You don't need to own one. Oh yes, there. It's called Boris Bike. If that's what you're referring to, quite a lot of European cities have it. In France as well, in Paris, and it's basically a sort of bicycle rental. Do you not have it? I suppose it's probably a city thing. It has to be a city for that to work. It's basically kind of a docking station. There are different kinds. Some Boris Bike is got docking station, so it's a little bit like bus stops, but each stop has bicycles available, and you can track them and check the availability with an app. And I think currently, before it was sponsored by Barclays, but now it's sponsored by Santander. It's a bank anyway, so they get sponsorship from companies, and but it's in collaboration with the government, I think, with the London whatever traffic thingy, yeah. So all you have to do is using an app, and you can scan, and I think. Boris Bikes has got a fob. I don't know whether they changed that yet. I have not used it for a long time, but yeah. So you basically use an app or a fob. You can release the bike, and you get to cycle. I think up to half an hour is free or very, very low cost, and then you can they start to charge you if you cycle longer distance. And you can also buy a membership or just pay one off if you're a tourist, for instance, if you're just here to visit for a little bit. And you can just pay with a credit card. You can just rent a bike and cycle. And there are other schemes as well. There are docking station-less ones. There are some, I think, maybe from Uber. So those ones you can dock anywhere. A lot of e-bikes as well, if you're lazy. I'm being biased. Then you can get on an e-bike, and very similar way. The difference is one has docking station, and some others don't. So I think yes. So they have some different schemes, but Boris Bike is probably one of the first that Boris Johnson started. So it's dubbed as Boris Bike. Yes, it's a bike hiring. I think probably quite a lot of cities have it. And so it's one of the things when Boris Johnson was the mayor. He was a terrible, terrible prime minister, but he was a good mayor. He was a good mayor. He was the one, because he cycled when he was working in the parliament, and before he became well, when he was a mayor, basically. So he pushed cycle lane quite heavily when he was a mayor for 2 terms. Janine says the bigger cities here have bikes you can rent. In my city, which is very small, they have electric scooters you can rent. Yes, we have those as well. But I do wonder about the safety for scooters, because literally I see people kind of just use the cycle lane and just scoot away. But I've never been on those. It's not my thing. I'll probably fall over and fly off and hit the car. Doesn't look very safe to me. But I think yes, I think bigger cities tend to have them because it just it reduces the traffic to a certain extent. You know, you encourage people to not travel, particularly if you're a single person, just one person in a car. It's kind of, you know, you take up a lot of energy and space, isn't it? Just driving from A to B as just one person. If it's a whole family, yes, it's justified. So it's about encouraging people to not to drive everywhere. I mean, London, you know, driving is such a burden anyway. Owning, you know, owning a car is such a burden. It's like having a child. I think majority of people are quite happy not to have a car. All right, let me see. Got a few more stitches here. I'm really curious to find out my stitch count today. I don't think I'm going to be in the alien territory, okay? Don't get too excited. But I think it might be, you know, I might not be doing too bad today. Janine says, I did it once and the scooter was pretty fun. They went faster than I thought. Oh, so is it electronic? Yes, I always wonder how it works. I've never been on those. And you could drop them anywhere and the city will pick them up and have a GPS thing in them. Yes, I think all the bikes have GPS attached to them so they can locate them. And sometimes in London, late at night, you will see really big lorries that go around and pick up those bikes and put them back on the docking station. Because sometimes people, you know, don't dock them properly or whatever. And also with e-bikes, yes, I only found out via this chat that, because I was wondering who, you know, e-bikes, you need battery being charged properly, and who is doing that? Because majority of the times I just see them being docked on the roadside, and it turned out apparently there are people on the lorry every day going around and collecting them and charging them, apparently, if I remember correctly. And I think scooters might be safer in smaller towns. You know what I mean? Like where there isn't heavy traffic or big lorries. It might be safer that way. But in London, I really do not recommend it. If you think cycling is dangerous, which I don't think fundamentally is, but scooter, you know, it's almost like people renting them. Do they even know how to use it before they do it? It's a bit like skateboard with a handle, isn't it? Betty Hankins says Tennessee, they have electronic scooters. They're like skateboards. Yes, that's the one we've got as well with that vertical handle there. They look fun, but when in London traffic, and a lot of times they get on either the pavement or cycle lane. It's just a little bit, I'm just worried that not every single person using them know how to use it properly, you know. So I was quite surprised they were allowed to be on sort of London streets. But I don't think cycling in London is dangerous if you're following the rules and be polite, you know. Just be a normal person. Do not have road rage. It's just it's silly. Janine says, do you have bike lanes in London? The scooters and bikes are not allowed to be in traffic. Exactly. So most of the times when I see them, I think most of them probably sensible enough not to be on the pavement, because you can literally run over grannies, right, or children. So most of the times I see them basically using cycle lane. I think I have not seen them sort of, using the scooters in the middle of the road. That'd be suicidal. That's not a good idea. But yes, but I think bicycles, yes, I suppose you need to be able to ride a bicycle to get on a bicycle. But with scooters, it's hard to gauge where the person's experience of scooters is, because I don't know whether you can classify those scooters as transportation or just kind of toys. I don't know. All right then, so let me pick one more strand of 310 here. I've got a little bit here, and this is going to be my last bit. I think I'm doing quite well today. I'm doing quite well, and I think this page is looking a lot more complete. So let's have this strand there and see, hopefully I can complete this area a little bit more. But I think, being able to have the option to travel with bicycles literally saved my life, because when I used to commute to work, I normally work in central London and sort of city area. And so I have to get on transportations every single day. And the line we have at this my local area is notorious for being jammed in the morning, really, really packed. And it's relentless. So I used to get on the tube in the morning, and by the time I got to work, I'd be flood of tears. I'd be so traumatized by being in the tube, because it's so packed, and I'm claustrophobic, but I have no choice. I had to go to work by a certain time. And so I literally just forced myself to be in the confined area, packed, jam-packed with people, couldn't breathe. And I did that every day for many years. Emotionally and physically traumatized. So in that sense, I'm grateful for Boris Johnson to encourage people to get on a bicycle. And that's when I had the courage to try. And suddenly I realized there's another way. I didn't have to be, at the mercy of London Tube or public transportation. And that my life was changed. Since then, I found freedom. So, you could argue it's slightly risky, but then again, being on London Tube, I don't think is that much safer. There are all sorts of things happen on public transportations. So, and I've been cycling ever since. It's just my transportation. I don't think about it. Ginny says they bought the scooters to alleviate the bus shortage. Yes, normally is to two things they're trying to do. Mainly to ease the congestion of traffic, right? So that's one. But also to encourage people to move around more with cycling. And it's good for mental health as well, because if you go on London Tube rush hours and look at people's faces, these are not happy people, and they're probably not healthy mentally as well. I'm not saying they're mentally ill, but it's just mentally they're unhappy, and that's a form of disorder, right? If your mind is not balanced and people just is a mean to an end. Whereas you watch people cycling to work, by the time they get to work, the energy is so different, because every single morning when I get to the office, people just go, wow, you look like, you look so happy. Whereas majority of them just got off some sort of train or public transportation. They just trying to take a breath and try to be human again. So I think the quality of life element of it is, they can't be underrated, understated. So I think it's mental health, physical health, and also to help with the traffic as well. So I think if the government or your city cares about you, they will try to promote, bicycle or alternative ways of traveling. Lynn says, Yogi, do you wear a helmet? Nope. No safety gear of any kind, no helmet. I just wear normal clothes. I get on my bicycle, never have problems. So helmet is a bit of a debate within the cycling arena. And, everybody make their own choices, but I truly do not have problem. And also I looked into some research of psychology there. Apparently, the more you look like a pedestrian, the safer you are when you're on bicycle. Because if you dress like you're on Tour de France, right, the cars are going to see you as almost like a competitor. You're trying to compete with them, in Lycra. There are people like that, really literally dressed like that, to cycle to work for half an hour, so half an hour journey. They're in their super Tour de France bike and Lycra head to toe with helmet and with body cam as well, some sort of camera attached. They look like they're about to go to war. And I think psychologically you are waging war with motorists. And technically you might go, well, I'm safer because I'm wearing something on my head. But you're inviting more hostility. Whereas I'm just dressed normally and, and just cycle like a normal person. I cycle like I walk. I cycle like a pedestrian. That's my goal. And I truly do not have problems. Car drivers are very considerate and they never try to race me because I'm not racing with them. So, no, I just wear normal clothes. Oh, Natty's asking for advice on stitching on black fabric. My advice is don't do it. But that's me. Yeah, sometimes you have to. If you're doing snow stitching, right? Then maybe that's necessary. Yes, my question would be why? Okay, I'm going to do my last few stitches here. I think lighting apparently is very important. I can't remember what advice people gave last time this subject came up. Because a lot of Halloween themes patterns probably call for some sort of dark fabric at the back. Okay, this is my last stitch here. Running out of thread. One, two, okay. Now. Here we go. That's looking good. Very nice. Natty says, I'm stitching Witchy Stitchy Project Nostalgic Tarot. Oh, I knew it. It's got to be some sort of mysterious themed, either Halloween or some sort of mystical themed patterns. Yes. Let me zoom out a little bit. And before I give you a summary and stuff, I was, just in case you weren't here in the beginning, so for the members from now, from next week, this coming Saturday, we're going to do another Blackwork party, okay? So if you missed the last one, come to this one with the pattern, and it's going to be good fun. It's really good fun. I really enjoy it, and if you put aside your, whatever ideas you have, and give it a go, And we're going to come together on Saturday, maybe around the same time, maybe 4 p.m. London time. And, I'll love to catch up with you on how your progress and a little bit of my own insight as well. And maybe we can watch another video. I'll try to pick another video we can watch together. That'll be quite beneficial. So this is, put it on your calendar, okay? And it's going to be on Saturday, London time, about 4 p.m. And we do the Blackwork party, and then Sao, just like on Saturday, okay, just so you know. So I think the plan for me is to use the Saturday earliest slot for members. We can just do something together every week, as long as my teaching timetable allows. And, we can pick different things to do. And at this point, I think everybody enjoys black stitching, Blackwork quite a lot. We can focus on that. And we can move on to other things as well. So we can do whatever we want, okay? So come and join us. And yes, so today, this piece I'm working on is called La Maison Romantique. And it's known to me before in a previous life as the wedding dress shop. And because there's a beautiful wedding dress shop involved in the picture there. And it's a piece of artwork by, not Amy Stewart, John O'Brien. He's a British artist and not being praised enough, really. He's got really, really beautiful pieces here. And I've got 3 of his artwork, not even knowing that I did until very recently. So this is what I've done today. Today, the goal is to kind of focus on the 3rd page, the bottom part, that I've been working on for a little while to complete bit by bit. And I think I've done really, really well. Yes. And so I'm going to show you my app here, okay? And let's have a look. And I'm curious to find out my stitch count today. I really don't know. I don't want to hype it too much. I don't know. Maybe it's going to come back like 85 stitches. But I think my suspicion is it might be a little bit more, because today there's very little confetti, right? And I'm just flying. Okay, guys, are you ready? Samantha says 189 today so far. Oh, Samantha, I have a feeling I might beat you, okay? And Lynn says 342 stitches today. Oh, I don't know if I will beat that one, but I can try. So let's find out together, shall we? So I'm going to count to 3, 2, are you ready? 1. Ta-da! Yeah, not bad at all. I may have beaten Lynn, and I've definitely beaten Samantha. So Lynn is 342, and the grand total of stitches Yogi has done today, guys, 379. Oh, Lona has beaten me. Yes, Lona, it's my moment. Lona says 661 today for me. Yes, for Yogi, 379 today. Okay, nearly half of what Lona has done, but I'm doing all right. So here we go. Let me end this counter here. And in terms of percentage, I definitely have moved forward slightly. It's 10%, 10.78%. I'm very happy with that. Okay, so guys, thank you for joining me on this beautiful Monday evening. And we're coming back today for another new piece. I have some idea on what I'm going to be stitching tomorrow, but I might change my mind just before the stream. Let's see how it goes. So here we go. Thank you for your company, and I hope you enjoy the stitches you're stitching today, and be safe, okay? If there's some extreme weather situation, just be safe, stay in and stitch with Yogi. Let's hang out. So now is 28 minutes past midnight, 12 o'clock in the UK time. from the sleepy London town, Yogi signing out. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the day or night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Nighty night. Love you all. Bye bye.